What you're seeing isn't a water park ride. It's an escalator inside a shopping mall in Guizhou, China. That's not a joke. The floodwaters in Rongjiang have gone completely out of control, leaving countless civilians scrambling. And judging by the quality of made in PRC, once the water recedes, all this equipment is probably headed straight for the junkyard. Over in Kunming, once proudly known as the Spring City, it's now more like Venice, except with Chinese characteristics. Even the elevated highway in the city center came with ocean views. Kunming's waterproofing, absolutely top tier, didn't let a single drop leak out. Residents even tried calling the mayor's hotline to express their heartfelt gratitude, only to discover Kunming hasn't had a mayor for quite a while. Since 2007, 4 successive Kunming mayors have ditched the city and gone full throttle into China's hot new industry, manufacturing. They fired up sewing machines. Gotta love that economic transformations. But Kunming locals, they're not jealous of Venice or Guilin anymore. Who needs those tourist traps when you've got your own bamboo raft tours downtown? As one resident joked, guess that vehicle and vessel tax really did something after all. One rainstorm gave Kunming a whole new travel package: waterfall, scenic rafting, and even a theme song. The city's unofficial anthem now. It really hits home. In the morning, office workers surf through the city like warriors. By evening, they're hippos in the current. Workers grind, parents hustle, riding the waves just to get their kids to the test site. Students, they're the real gladiators. Wrapped in floaties, some still showed up for their high school entrance exams. Because in China, it's not about whether you survive today, it's about whether you make it to college tomorrow. The future, apparently, is more important than life itself. But even that's not as important as what really matters to Chinese people: staying fed. No matter how tough it gets, the people won't starve quietly. So what do you do in a flood? You fish. National Flood Fishing Day, everybody. A bit of disaster, a bit of dinner. Some of these steroid-fed superfish escaped the farms, leapt over fences, but couldn't escape the civilian nets. Doesn't matter how they got out. If they're in the water, they're on the menu. Better a full stomach than an empty life. And if the Dragon King forgot to close the floodgates, the CCP made sure to help by opening a few more. Sanitation workers even joined the mess. Normally, they're the subject of tragic praise pieces in state media, but this time, well, let's just say their uniforms literally said waterproof maintenance. Maybe that means protecting the water from leaking out. Aside from the oversized fish flopping around in the streets, even the sewers started acting strange. At this rate, after a lunch of boiled fish, some folks even called for the Earthquake Bureau to take a look. Others shouted back, "What for? Those good-for-nothings can't tell a crack from a coffee stain." Someone else asked, "Could this be an electric leak?" The video's uploader replied, "Nah, I touched it, didn't get shocked." As for the water-damaged cars, yeah, total losses for now. But give it time, they'll resurface at second-hand dealerships like nothing ever happened, just like new, until you start the engine. Let's take another look at CCP infrastructure. It's as fragile as shards of glass next to a soprano's solo. A bridge snapped in two after just one downpour. Netizens spread the news like wildfire. But as usual, censorship moved faster than rescue. The media fell silent. At first, the driver's cab was left hanging in midair, with the driver still inside. Citizens arrived on scene long before state media or rescue teams.
你命大啊，兄弟啊，这个危险啊，只能要等消防来了。我打消防打不通啊，没信号都没信号啊。你把后面的车子稳住啊，不要过来哦。啊，唔係有部噶，唔得。那有个小车，那边有2个小车啊。不要往那边走了，往那边走，那边就裂开了，快开，快点！
CCP infrastructure doesn't need storms to fall apart. Bridges collapse in broad daylight under blue skies. Everyone knows tofu has a short shelf life, but even with death looming, Chinese crowds love a good spectacle. Sure sounds like excitement to me. This flood wasn't just caused by heavy rain. Somewhere in that mess, there's always the ghost of the CCP, collapsing Tofu dam walls, opening gates during downpours. It's the party's disaster playbook. Let's hope more people start learning how to save themselves, because when disaster strikes, survival shouldn't rely on luck alone. In just 1 minute, an entire street went underwater. One woman was lucky. She had just driven out of an underground garage when the flood hit. She spun the wheel hard to the stop, backing the car so the trunk smashed into the toll booth. Then, she climbed out through the sunroof, climbed onto the booth, and later onto a railing. When the water settled a bit, she swam to the wall and climbed up an air conditioner unit to the second floor. Not every survivor was so lucky. When floods hit that fierce and sudden, or when the party opens the floodgates at night, even an IQ of 180 won't save you. Meanwhile, what's the party doing? Ordering rescue workers to wait until the cameras are set up before moving in, because actors must strictly follow their script. Turn on the official media and you'll find no sign of serious disaster, no helpless civilians, only the party's warm, caring image everywhere. Look at that solemn 5-star blood flag, unshaken even by the rain. The heroic rescuers, exhausted, lying motionless in the pouring rain. On camera, 15 party members took the lead by jumping in to block the rushing water. Yes, with their own bodies. Honestly, these 15 kids from regular families should have just let the boss's kids take the spotlight. Some netizens have already figured out the trick. If you want the officials to come quickly, don't shout for help. Instead, scream things like, June 4th massacre. Instantly, the police would show up in helicopters and speedboats to find you. During this flood, something unusual happened. Disaster victims in Huaiji, Guangzhou flooded social media with a clear message: don't donate. Even if you do, it'll never reach us, they wrote. Everyone's having a hard time. Thank you, but the best help is no help. If you've got that money, better spend it on a few pounds of pork for yourselves. But all the pigs, cows, sheep, and chickens had already drowned, along with the crops. Only a few geese were still floating on the water. One farmer mourned, "I raised those geese for half a year, hadn't even tasted a bite before they left me." As for the less fortunate livestock, even in death they probably didn't escape ending up on someone's dinner plate. Of course, not everyone's so clear-headed when it comes to donations. Some people, when they couldn't get relief funds, just took matters into their own hands. In times of disaster, some prey on the weak, but others still shine with human decency. Everything has a soul. Even animals show love for their young. We're grateful for those few who reminded us that not all humanity has been wiped away. After the water receded in some areas, the lucky ones returned, only to find everything they worked for completely destroyed. One optician said they lost over $1,000,000. Water reached the ceiling. 3 shops gone. Just the biometric scanners alone cost 240,000 yuan. The manufacturers said they're beyond repair, have to be replaced. There are 3 kids at home, mortgage, car loan. The storefronts were bought with borrowed money, over 300,000 yuan in monthly loan payments. The owner said it felt like the sky had collapsed. 20 years of hard work, all reduced to mud. When disaster strikes, the worst combo isn't just the rain. It's mortgage plus car loan plus 3-child policy. But hey, at least they survived. When you're at the bottom, you're also in the biggest danger. So stay sharp. Don't just follow the crowd or take risks you can't handle. Not sure how many people still remember the 2021 Jingguang Tunnel disaster, 5 kilometers of trapped cars underground, or the Zhengzhou floods, where Subway Line 5 got totally soaked. Even when water reached neck level, some folks tried stopping others from breaking the glass because it was public property. State media said only 14 people died, but subway cars were covered in black cloth and carried out one by one. It could have been avoided. 48 hours before the flood, the Weather Bureau kept sending red alerts. But the party didn't do a thing. Schools opened, people went to work, subways ran like usual. Why? They're scared to act, because if it turns out to be a false alarm, they'll get blamed for stirring up trouble. Keeping their own jobs safe is what matters most. So don't expect the party to save you. It's just speeding up people's tragedies. Even with all the warnings and disasters, most people still believe the party will rescue them from a sinking ship. When the floodwaters finally went down in Rongjiang, the sun baked the streets like a sandstorm. Teachers and students were out cleaning schoolyards, shops wiped out. We can't stop nature, but we can try to limit the damage caused by those in power.